Hello, here for another solo episode. I just had an incredible conversation with Dr. Adam Sussman. And when that airs, oh my God, it's chock full of a lot of information and I don't know, kind of nerdy science. It's heady, it's heavy, but it's fascinating. So go have a listen. But suffice it to say, that episode and talking with Dr. Adam made me start really thinking about my journey, my healing journey. And I don't know, however long it was. Isn't that funny that I can't even remember how long ago it was? It was over 10 years ago that I had my spinal injury, and I was literally told I would never walk again. I would need assistance for the rest of my life. Um, I wouldn't really see, I wouldn't really hear. I was at a place of such dependency. I couldn't hold a cup. I couldn't feed myself. I was extremely limited. I couldn't even shower independently. And I think back to how many times I was told, there's nothing we can do. There's zero hope and that this is just going to be the way that it's going to be for the rest of your life. It was a story that I was told because of other people's limitations. I harbor zero resentment for any professional, healthcare professional who was limited in their experience and therefore told me I would be limited in my experience. Zero, zero resentment or animosity. What I'm going to say is I chose to understand that what they were telling me was a story from their perspective. And I chose not to believe their story. Instead, I chose to write my own. And that experience can be used by you for absolutely anything in your life that is contrary to how you actually want to be living your life, your best life. I remember sitting there in a wheelchair thinking, a year ago, I was a perfectly healthy, active mother, wife, gyrotonic instructor, swim coach, you name it. I was doing it. I wasn't thinking about it. I took it all for granted. So I had this forced stillness in my life to really take stock of what it is that I wanted in my life and who I wanted to be. And I sure as hell was not going to settle for somebody else's story. So let me ask you, what story are you choosing to believe? Now, see, that makes me very emotional because I think a lot of us are living our lives by somebody else's definition of what success is, of what beauty is, of what joy is, of what hope is. And I know that our purpose is to create a life that makes us happy, that makes us joyful, that brings peace to us according to our definitions, not somebody else's definition, our definition. So, two questions. What story are you living? Is it someone else's or is it yours? And then, what are you willing to change? What are you willing to change? My entire life is dedicated to that little set of questions. Whose story am I living and what am I willing to change? What am I willing to adjust? Because when somebody told me that my life was going to be in a wheelchair and debilitated, I said no. And then I saw a life that I wanted to live. And I said, challenge accepted. What do I have to do to get there? What do I have to do to create that? And my life has been on an ever changing trajectory ever since. Ever changing. Because when I hit what I intend, like back then, my intention was to just be independent. I just want to be independent. I don't want to be a burden. I want to be able to walk. I want to be able to feed myself. I want to be able to care for myself. I want to be able to wash my own hair. I want to be able to shave both armpits instead of just one. Like it was such a low benchmark, but Let me tell you something. When you're dragging yourself across the floor, that benchmark feels pretty high to hit. But challenge accepted, and I did it. And then I set a new challenge: work with others, share my knowledge, share my experience. Challenge accepted. I started, I reopened my studio, Nagare. I reopened that. It was out of my house. Once I got comfortable being that version of myself, I decided to find another challenge. How about we open a studio outside the house? Brick and mortar, someplace to go, someplace to set up, someplace to be able to see more clients. Challenge accepted. Who was I going to have to become in order to be able to live that dream life? Well, she had to be confident. She had to be open to learning new things about running a business, a brick and mortar business. I had to learn everything from scheduling software to how to build a website to marketing to you name it. Challenge accepted. And it was really fun. And it was really successful. And then I felt the call, the nudge to become even more. And that was the point where it took a lot of trust, because I wanted more, but I had no real vision for what that was supposed to look like. I knew what it was supposed to feel like. Freedom of time, freedom of location. That's what I had in mind. So I closed my studio. That gave me freedom of time, freedom of location. And in my time since, I've been in this place of becoming. And in that space of becoming, I have been exploring, who do I want to be? I want to be an even more expanded version of myself. And I'm going to venture to guess that so do you. So whose story are you living? And what changes are you willing to make to become the writer of your own story? The main character of your own story, the hero of your own story, the lead, the story, the subplot. What are you going to do? What changes are you going to make? Because that's what you need to be exploring right now. Okay. 10 seconds of courage. 10 seconds of courage. Take a deep breath. State it out loud. Who do you want to be? What life are you creating? What is your story, and what are you willing to do to make it happen? And then I challenge you to dream even bigger. Take even more risks. Create even more with your life. It's your life, nobody else's. Don't let anybody tell you what success looks like, what beauty looks like, what power looks like, what love looks like, what joy looks like, what hope looks like. Explore your own story. Okay, good luck with that. Good luck with that, and leave comments. I hope that this inspires you to take some stock of your life, how you're living, how you want to live, and then, of course, what changes are you willing to make? Leave comments. Tell me everything. Okay, that's it, listener. Before you go, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and set your notifications to never miss an episode. If you'd like even more with me, come on over to nagarelife.com. And if you enjoyed this episode as much as I did, go on and share it. Share it with somebody that you think would enjoy it as well. All right, I'll see you next time.